We're out here test driving jet skis. So this machine I'm on is a 2017 Yamaha TR1 that I rebuilt the jet pump on because it had exploded. Bearings went everywhere. So let's see if we can catch up to Tiff.
Tiffany's riding a 2011 Seadoo GTX 155. As I mentioned, I'm riding a 2017 Yamaha VX Deluxe. These two machines, though they're a few years apart in model year, they're alarmingly similar in a lot of other aspects, which makes either a great option for either a first-time PWC buyer or a seasoned boater alike. Both of them are 3-seat, 3-cylinder, naturally aspirated machines. There are a few key differences though that could sway you one way or the other, depending on what you're really looking for with your PWC purchase. The Yamaha has a much larger storage compartment, 3.8 cubic feet, versus the Seadoo that only has 1.8 cubic feet. However, the Seadoo compartment has a waterproof insert that latches shut, which would keep your items dry even on the choppiest days or if you were to flip the jet ski over or capsize it. But let's face it, you're really here to know about the performance comparison of these two machines. Now, the Seadoo does have a much larger displacement engine with nearly 1.5 liters of displacement, which produces 155 horsepower, thus the model's name GTX 155. Now, the Yamaha's TR1 power plant has just over 1 liter of displacement, so a fair amount less. That only produces 125 horsepower. That sounds like a big jump to lose 30 horsepower, and that is a pretty significant number. However, Yamaha made up for the reduced displacement and power by also reducing the weight of the entire machine with their advanced Nano XL hull material, which means that VX Deluxe weighs almost 200 pounds less than the GTX. So the seeming lack of power is more than made up by the weight reduction. Both machines are easily capable of mid 50 mile an hour speeds. As you can see, we drag race these machines, they are basically neck and neck. So another important thing, other than the storage, the ride quality, the horsepower, the speed, is maintenance. The Yamaha uses what is known as an open loop cooling system. So it uses water from the body of water you're riding in, whether that's a lake or the ocean, to cool the engine. So if you're riding in salt water, failure to flush that engine out properly will cause corrosion and clog up the cooling passages inside of the engine, which is a costly thing to get repaired. The Seadoo uses what's known as a closed loop cooling system. So failing to flush it won't cause damage to the engine, but the exhaust system is still open loop cooled on the Seadoo. So worst case, it could cause some corrosion in your exhaust manifold and muffler, water box, things like that. Now, oil filters, easily accessible on both machines. Yamaha uses a traditional spin-on filter with a metal canister, while Seadoo uses a cartridge-style element that kind of sits down in a little compartment. The Seadoo filter tends to be a little easier to change without spilling oil everywhere, but I made a video on how to do a oil change on a TR1 without making a big mess. So if you follow along with that video, the Yamaha can be done just as easily, problem-free, without having to take it to a dealer or anything. Now, as far as weak points, neither one of these machines has any real glaring flaws. The Seadoo will need a wear ring now and then, as it uses a plastic ring that will wear out in the event that you were to suck up rocks or sticks. It saves a little wear and tear on the jet pump bearings because that plastic will give way before other things. The TR1 does use a stainless steel liner around the pump, and it seems like those pump's bearings seem to let go around 400 hours of runtime, which is a lot of riding. And if you maintain the pump and you aren't abusing it, sucking up debris and rocks and things, chances are it will last much longer than that before it needs to have the pump rebuilt. Now both of the engines on these are susceptible to water ingestion problems. If you were to flip the ski over or sink it, forget drain plugs, things like that, neither one of them has a drain on the intake manifold. So getting any water back out to avoid further serious damage to the engine is a similar adventure on either one. It's not exactly a fun time. Really, though, either one of these machines is going to serve you well for a long time and be a lot of fun as long as you're riding it sensibly and not abusing it. Both are plenty stable to carry passengers on and still quick enough to be enjoyed by anyone, whether first-time rider or still giving a veteran rider a good time playing around. So hopefully this video has been helpful to you in making a decision on a possible personal watercraft purchase this year. Thanks for watching.